Now, returning you to the Children of Primus.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Live.
And Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Wait a minute. Oh, no. I thought I was rid of you guys. I had a nice, peaceful night staring at my Transformers. I thought I was rid of you bunch of Canadian tundra Wookiees. This isn't fair.
I crossed a frozen lake to get here. I don't fear a lot of things.
You know what? Just because of all of your comments, we sent some of our snow down to you guys.
I see that. Yeah, by the way, your
Not that
brother's
it gets
drunk in
him
my front
for-
yard. Come get it.
They see
No,
you
I'm too
guys
far
are
south.
handling our snow very well.
Mm-hmm.
Hell,
That's
even in
24
Virginia,
degrees in
they
Lake
got
City.
their pipes
Whoa!
broken that they have the they
For
did
my
a
sister.
photo advisory all last week.
Yeah. In fact,
No, my sister lives in Lake City. It was 24 degrees.
To make it clear,
so far it's been 41.
just how much of a
We've been in the
stereotype I
teens up
embody.
over here.
I live next to a bay. It's frozen over. Every day right
fancy.
now, people ice fish on it and skate on it and play hockey on it every day. So I am just living the stereotype.
Is it a bay off
Everything
of
you
one of the
just
Great
said
Lakes?
just sounds so
Cold.
Yeah. Cold
Yeah,
too.
my uncle, my dad's brother, he for one winter he lived on a boat on one of the Great Lakes. He said that was one of his dumb periods in his 20s.
Then he had you. Which tops
No,
what?
my uncle,
Wait, what?
my dad's
Oh,
brother.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, James. Happy New Year to everyone and everyone who's subscribed and liked our videos. Happy New Year.
2025 is a science fiction sounding year.
so hey, Anthony.
Yeah.
I think I found the light that makes his eyes and his chest light up.
Oh, that's pretty bright. Yeah. None of mine have been electronic, so.
Yeah, I think it goes like inside of this, and then
We said UV
Yeah, that's the center
activated.
part
I
of
just
his
assumed
chest.
it was just glow in the dark.
say that again.
Oh shit.
When you said it was UV activated, I thought you meant it just glowed in the dark.
That's what the box says, but I guess it comes with a light as well. So
Is the light UV activated? Like, is that a thing they can do?
I don't know because I don't see a way to turn this off. It's just on. So like, and it's very bright. Yeah.
You're gonna be trying to sleep later, and it's just gonna be beaming through the house.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's just gonna be doing Morse code wherever you go, and you're just gonna be like, "Where is it coming from?"
Oh man.
You're like trying to sleep, and you just see a displeased Megatron with bright, glowing eyes looking at you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just be sure not to stare at it too much because we all know you're epileptic, and that wouldn't be
Yeah, don't do
that wouldn't be too healthy.
Yeah, but we
Careful
can
with that.
mix up the stream a little bit. Do something a little different.
Yeah.
That definitely bring people back for next week. Up.
Hey, you want to know a fact about the March of Time that's specifically Transformers related that will probably confound some people here?
Absolutely.
So, Generation 1 toy line begins in 84, ends in 1990. 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. 7 years long. This guy, one of the people I just got, is from the Studio Series, which is the toy line dedicated to the movies. The Studio Series toy line made its debut in the year 2018. It's now the year 2025. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So that's 8 years. The all-purpose movie toy line has now been around longer than Generation 1.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
If you consider the tail end of G1 not already G2, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I counted the American line. Like Europe, it ran for like 3 more years, so it hasn't outpaced that yet. Yeah. So I'm most interested in what's in the mystery box.
So that's what I was going to say. Are we doing the box?
Yeah.
They're at-
All right. So I see that Pete is here. Pete, you be ready to dial 911 because there's. We just happened to watch the NCIS thing where the streamer was killed on stream. So
Oh Jesus!
yeah,
But before we start, do we know who this is from? We don't?
Nope.
and
Nope.
I checked all of these strips on the back, and they just say it was a gift. It doesn't say who it was from, and so because it was a gift, I can't know what it's from.
Hmm.
Magnus, your mic kind of went blobby.
Oh, I said I checked
There we
all
go.
of these barcodes on it, and it was registered as a gift, so it won't give me any information.
Yeah.
Only the buyer
Wow.
can get the information.
We won't dox the buyer, but I remember you showed where it's from, and we were all just like, "Who do we know there?"
Yeah, it's Rancho Cucamonga, California.
What?
Anybody know anybody from California?
I mean, the only person I could think
I
of
actually do.
was
So I mean,
Whiteback.
it's
Tupac, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube.
Tupac.
okay. So there's a box inside the paper, and there's writing on the box. It says, "Can you deal with this now?"
That's threatening, man. That's threatening.
Nice.
Here, you should give him the big screen. Can you deal with this now?
Can you?
Okay, it's
deal
2
with
boxes.
this?
Yeah. Can you?
In
You know,
case the first one doesn't kill you.
Yeah, I'm worried that it's going to be something very tiny, and he's just going to force you to go through a series of successive boxes.
Are we taking bets to see which one's going to kill him? Because I'm going with number 1.
God.
Wow.
I'm going with number 2. I think number 1 is a fake out.
I think the other bet will be how
I don't know.
many,
It's fairly heavy.
how many boxes are in this box.
Is
Yeah.
it
Well,
sticky?
it's 2 boxes.
Do we have like a funny technical difficulties thing that we can cut to, like preloaded?
Well, welcome
Chat.
Transformers fan, and they said, "Let's see this." A Transformers fan, are you in charge of the fan club that we send away like the little things from like the G1 boxes to get our Omnibots?
The robot
Yeah,
points.
Are you
The
sitting on a
robot
stack
points.
of robot points?
We're waiting for the glitter bomb.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Well, there's a box inside of this box.
Oh, man.
There is a box inside of the box.
This is incredible.
Hello.
Oh, hell.
Oh,
Happy New Year, everybody.
Or
Happy New
Lottie.
Year.
What are we looking at? Let's go in. Oh, it's a whole thing of blokies. Look at that. Give him the full thing.
Oh, wow.
So that is
Not sponsored.
okay. So that is
not sponsored.
that is the
Or
first
maybe
series.
sponsored.
So that's mostly the one that I was pulling from on this.
Is it?
Remember I said that it sounded like it was broken or a lot of pieces?
Oh, that's why you got to build them all.
Yeah, I gotta please stand by.
Oh,
pull
you
it
know
up
what?
On my screen.
It says Floki's right here on the box. And a little bitty tag. Please stand by.
This whole time he's been stressing just because he doesn't know how to read.
Jesus.
Oh, okay, so I got a box of 1 and a box of 2.
Oh, I never picked up any from Series 2. Or did I? Was Bone Crusher in Series 2? I know they like spread the Constructicons out.
I think they're on series 3
And
right
there's
now, right?
there is nothing else in here that
No
tells
card.
me anything.
This Transformers fan says, "Damn." Well, question: is this from Transformers fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, no card, no nothing.
Well, yeah, where's Transformers fan? Is this from you? Because we don't know who sent it.
Yeah. Like, if you can put ID in the box, you know?
It was from Santa Claus.
Yeah,
Yeah, no doubt.
Santa Claus, like, lives in California, actually.
With Tupac.
And these are sealed. These are like factory sealed, so I don't think that there's going to be anything inside of them.
So
This not
Transformers
from me.
fan said, "Yep, this not from me." So it's a mystery in terms of who sent this package.
It's a mystery of the mystery box.
That is correct.
I wonder if even the California address is a red herring.
And what's
like, maybe
really
it's just
good
shipped
is
from there.
Yeah, that's true.
that these are all mysteries too,
Yeah.
We got to call the
because you don't know which one's in the box in each individual box.
I
So
would be.
are you gonna open them today?
See, here's what I'm curious about, and this is a mystery that you can solve. In a solid case like that, are there any doubles? Because my first three that I got, I was picking them out of the same case every time I visited the shop, and I never got any doubles. So I'm like, is there like one of each in there, or like how does it work? You know?
I don't know, because they're all sealed, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the thing
Aren't
I'm
they
most
all-
curious about.
They're all
Are
mystery.
they in a small little box in that big box?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a lot of boxes.
Hey, Anthony, you might know. So I have a question for you. Which this is This is 3, right? The ones that I
Yeah.
have. Because I saw in the box here it says coming, and it's
Get a towel.
it's the like original Ultra Magnus version. So
Sorry.
Yeah, coming.
Yeah.
That's why they're the shiny
Oh, boy.
version.
I think they've done at least
Exactly,
series
right.
4. The wiki has a full list of them.
So I
There's
guess
more
I
to
could
come.
I could do one per show,
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. I got like
Did you say a
the
peep show?
like one from each box per show.
Yeah. Peep these Blokies, the show.
There you go.
it's cool. Like I said, I got the secret Megatron one, and then the Ultra Magnus Optimus Prime variant. So like, it's cool to get like technically Prime and Megatron the same ones.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that will be a weekly short. Peep these blokies.
Yeah, Ultra. Yeah, Mr. Magnus looks for Ultra Magnus.
I mean, so you said it was series 1 and series 2?
Right.
s-
This is
Yeah, and then which series did you have?
So this one says 01 Shining Rollout and 03 the Autobot Run.
Okay, so yeah, Galaxy version are the small ones. So yeah, you guys have all 3 series. So there are currently 5 series of this. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all G1, and Series 5 is Transformers 1 characters. And the normal Ultra Magnus, the one that's not a white Optimus, is in Series 4.
That.
Okay.
Oh, hey, RJ.
I'll definitely be looking for that as well.
Mhm.
I really want to get the original Optimus too with the Matrix and everything.
Cool. RJ says, Happy New Year, gang, and Happy New Year to you too, RJ. Looking forward to another year of Transformers toys, comics, gossip, and juicy Transformer discussion, which we will have some within the stream.
Hey,
including
RJ, since I know you've been looking at the pictures I take of my Turtles of Grayskull crossovers, I got a merman. I hadn't done any pictures of him yet. But this is him with his fishtail.
Merman.
Then he has a trident. And then he has his normal human legs. And then
you know what?
this week I'm going to have Don... I guess I'll show the other one. You see, I know you've seen these. This is what they look like as out of package.
That
I
looks
know
cool.
you've seen my custom builds of Leo and Raph already as my profile pic. And then this is the He-Man I was using some parts from for Raphael, the leg and the crotch and the Palderon. So
Oh, that reminds me. During the break, we learned that there's a theater in downtown Toronto, just a single screen one called the Review Cinema, and they
Perfect.
show. Oh, what'd you get?
Skywarp.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah. So this theater called the Review Cinema, and we found out about it because we got to go watch the original 1990 Ninja Turtles movie on it, and it was in like an old 35 millimeter print of it, so with like the
Nice.
film grain and everything, which
Nice.
in
Where's the
that
location,
case,
Anthony?
pardon,
Where's the location?
downtown Toronto. It's called the Review Cinema.
Because I've
Oh,
never
look.
heard of it. That's why.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm
very
downtown.
it's a very high effort place. Like before the movie, they played customized like trailers they made themselves for all of their upcoming things they're showing, like the old movies. Like they were showing like Austin Powers 2, but they didn't play an old trailer for it. They played like a new trailer they'd made,
Right.
stuff
right.
like that.
I'm guessing the review is one of the older cinemas from the city.
Yeah.
I laugh. It's the same cinema that when you and I and D and we brought our kids to go watch 86?
Maybe. I mean, there's only a few of those
Yeah.
theaters that are left. And Peter says, "Got to run. You guys have a good one, and thank you for stopping by."
Okay, don't get
Here,
caught.
Pete. Pete
Just
is
say it
my
already.
my tech guy.
Yeah. Okay. So the review cinemas in Roncesvalles.
Oh, okay, I know. Okay,
I know where that one is. Yeah.
Yeah.
is it
It's on Roncesvalles Avenue specifically.
Queen? Is it near Queen or is it near Dundas?
I'm just looking around here. So the
So it
first
is
time I'd
one
been
of
there.
one of the older original theaters.
It's a few blocks south of Bloor Street.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of a pain for me to get to, but after going there once, I'm like, man, if I lived closer to this, I'd probably go here a lot.
I used to live walking distance from a bow tie cinema, which also had a sub theater that they showed like Criterion collection stuff on at as well. Yeah, I got like about 100 pictures I need to post of that Turtles of Grayskull builds I made since between this stream and the last stream last year.
So you can
that I
just
need to
pop them out
post.
and customize them, right?
Yeah, you can. So normally the waist, the hands, the soldier, the head, and the boot is where you can pull from. And then obviously like armor can come off and weapons and whatnot.
Frig, the top part kind of looks like Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Well, the Raphael looks like Juggernaut.
Yeah, the
That's the
Raphael's
character I was
based off
thinking
of Ram Man.
Yeah, that's who
Yeah,
it is. I was like, who's the one with the hard head?
Mm-hmm.
And it's
The
not hard head.
Donatello I'm gonna get this week is he's based off of was it Man of Arms, Man at Arms.
Man at Arms, yeah, that's
Yeah,
a guy.
man, I do.
And then I got that Michelangelo with the toupee. I was like, I'll get it. I think I'm only gonna get them all. I think after this week, the only 4 I have left to get would be the mutated Moss Man, the Casey Jones, the first Leonardo from the first wave, and the mutated He-Man.
Actually, the gaming store I was talking about earlier actually has like 3 of those Casey Jones, and they're going for like $20 right now, which isn't too bad.
Yeah, that's about the average, or get a few. Some places they'll be like the high teens. Some places they'll be like the low 20s. But yeah, 20 is kind of the median price range for them.
American prices
have you
always throw
heard?
me for a loop.
Hold on, have you heard of the He-Man movie that's coming out?
Yeah,
I'll believe
I've
it when I
heard
see
of it.
trailers. Because I feel like they've been saying they were going to make a movie for like a decade and a half now. You know,
Oh, they're making a Voltron movie too now.
Yeah, with
Hypothetically.
Matter of fact, Henry Cavill's going to be in it.
Yes, exactly. You just took the words out of my mouth. But the He-Man, for what I understand or what I read, the story itself is going to be a little different than what we're used to. I don't know if you guys heard.
No.
No.
Well, like I said,
Let us
I'll
know.
believe it's happening when I see actual filmed footage because I've heard a lot of.
Well, they have actors
attempts.
already. I don't know. I forgot the actor's name, but he's been bulking up for the movie and everything. So, in order to save a little bit of money, the concept, and I'm spoiler. So if nobody wants to hear this, put it on mute. Apparently, it's a little bit different than your average He-Man movie. It's supposed to be on Earth.
So, like the original He-Man movie.
No, what happened is that Prince Adam has almost like a Superman origin kind of movie start kind of thing. So he ends up on Earth somehow, and then he starts gaining these powers and everything, and he doesn't know who he is, and then after that he starts finding out he's not from Earth. He's actually from
Eternia.
Eternia and all that kind of stuff. So, and then they're supposed to kind of transition from Earth to Eternia and all that kind of stuff, right?
Oh,
so
that's interesting.
yeah.
See, the only He-Man thing I've ever watched, I've only ever seen the old live action movie. I almost kind of want to keep it that way because I actually really liked that movie. This is fun. So it sounds like you're just describing the plot of that one in reverse.
Exactly. But the reason why they're doing this is because they wanted to save some money on the budget.
So exactly like the old one, like put him in Eternia just at the beginning, so we can
Yeah.
just film on a city street somewhere the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I'll wait to see. I'll wait and see. Like I said, I really enjoyed the old one, but they're not going to do that again. That's a specific blend of like just
80s action.
delightful cheese and camp and 80s action, like you said. And you know, a funny thing I learned about that movie: Dolph Lundgren thought all of his lines were going to be 80-yard, and then they just didn't have money to do that, so he didn't think any of his accent or anything he said was going to be in the final film.
That's
The
funny.
80s,
Well,
baby.
I got a couple reviews, a couple
Yes.
reveals.
Uh-oh.
Let us know your reviews. I know there's a few other things in news that we'll be jumping on, but what do you have, Mr. Toy?
Oh,
What
make sure
vintage
they're not my
reviews?
knockoffs.
I've got. Speaking of which, I've got a huge reveal. Unfortunately, it's not
That's what
coming
my
until
wife said, but
tomorrow.
go ahead.
Yeah, I got a huge reveal,
okay.
but it's not coming until tomorrow. So I'm stuck with the smaller stuff that I picked up over the holidays.
Wow.
That could be the
Processed
main event of
plastics.
next week.
You guys probably remember these were just the plastic toys like on the bottom
Yes.
shelf at Kmart in the 80s, and they were just like freaking indestructible.
Yeah.
These have actually
Yep.
started to catch value now because so many were destroyed in the 80s. Got a whole box full of these.
Wow.
And what's funny about this stuff is I picked this stuff up on an action figure based live stream auction, and nobody wanted to bid on the car stuff. So I collect the 80s Matchbox stuff, and this is from 1989. Totally mint on card. I mean, it is just
Nice.
beautiful. I
Wait,
picked
what is
all
it?
this stuff up. I picked these two items up for $28 shipped.
These look like Micromaster combiners, except they don't have robot modes.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But yeah, those are my two small reviews. I'm really, really mad. My big reveal didn't come in, but such is life, I guess.
And it's fun because I tried to get him to tell me what it was, and I couldn't get him to do it.
Anthony will drool over this.
I even I pulled the son card too. I was like, I'm your son. You got to tell me. It didn't work. I was upset.
Hold on, wait a minute. Anthony will drool over this.
There's like 3 categories of thing that would be that
Well, the
means it could
first-
be.
Yeah, the
First
first thing
one
will
will
come
be
to my
something
mind will
hot
be
rod related.
hot rod and then something beastie.
Well,
I don't know.
he's
Yeah,
getting-
I'll let that marinate in Anthony's head.
Yeah, I was gonna
For a
say
week.
like it's definitely
Yeah.
not Beast Wars, so it's got. There's
It's
a
gonna
couple
live
other
there
things it could
rant
be.
free.
I have some
Well-
ideas.
Oh, Michael, were you watching TelaTraan
been-
1?
No, actually, I just got in from work.
I know I
Uh,
mentioned this to you before, Core Warp. I just happened to remember where I had them. For once.
Oh, Z-Bot. That's
That
the Hot
is-
Wheels
is
Z-Bot.
Z-Bot or C-Bot?
Z as in Zeal.
Okay, cool.
It looks like
Z-Bot.
that character from Battlestar Galactica, the robot.
Yeah, I just always managed to keep. I managed to never lose this guy somehow.
Nice.
So this is my
Huh.
childhood one.
Well,
Just saying hi to
Oh,
You know when this came out, so I know how long I have had this.
can you hit me?
Hold on, wait.
I'm gonna guess 83.
Hold
Don't
on,
let
wait,
Anthony stay
wait.
up too late. He's
Damn,
fucking
as old
sick.
as I am.
Wait,
And I
hold
just
on,
got
guys.
over being sick, and if I catch his cold, I'm gonna be fucking angry at all of you.
Well, then.
That was
Anthony,
just
go
a
to bed
moment by
right now.
Jeff.
That was a just moment, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That was just over.
your health, but I'm like, I'm not fucking putting up with 2 months of being sick.
Yeah, she was sick for a long time, so
I
she's
know.
like rightfully justified to like not want to catch something again.
Well, all right, guys. With that, we will see you next week until R1.
Brad's scared.
I wanted to show this to Mr. O since he missed it. I was trying to tell him about it. I found a box version of WCW NWO Revenge for the N64.
Are you serious?
Complete for $40 with the poster and the cards and everything, and it's even got this like protective plastic on it, and it's like I was like $40 for
go
something
wrong
like
with
that.
that.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Not at all. Like I saw it and I just like I have to get this just to show Michael. Like
Well, I got 2 words for you.
suck it.
Yeah.
Wait.
God, you know how many times you got in trouble at school for doing that?
The gesture,
Brad?
yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, but Mr. O, let me hear your opinion.
Of what?
It doesn't matter about your opinion.
Oh yeah. Well, guess what? You just made my list.
Oh, you're done
Oh,
already,
okay.
huh?
Nice.
While we're killing time, Mr. Magnus put his what's it called
That's
again?
my boy.
The
His blokey
bots are
together.
is Blokey together. I was gonna call it Loki for a second there.
If they got into Marvel licensing, because
Ooh.
they don't just do Transformers, they don't do Marvel yet, but if they got Marvel licensing, they could make a Loki Blokey.
Loki, Blokey. Look,
Say
we
that
just gave
5 times
Marvel.
really fast.
We just gave Marvel $1 million idea there.
See, I don't want to see Marvel do it though because the amount of different suits and the amount of money that they could put into like the secret variants with the
Yeah,
separate suits of people, like I feel like that'd be a bit too much.
you could
Marvel loves their cash.
you could do a whole box of just Spider Men.
The
Well,
thing
and
is,
Literally.
Loki too, right?
wouldn't
Because
you
look
want
at
like
the
the
Loki series there.
yeah, the alligator Loki Blokey?
I
Yeah.
will say if they had a Spider Punk figure, I would buy a couple to try to pick that up because that is a cool Spider-Man variant.
Mhm. Oh, that's an interesting
So
question.
now we're doing one from the other one. Oh, it's green.
So RJ is asking Toy Warp, and he says, "I always wondered, Toy Warp, does Matchbox make JDM stuff like Honda Civics, etc.? I collect those in Hot Wheels. The imports."
I couldn't tell you
I
with the
got
new stuff. I
Mixmaster.
quit. I don't collect anything Matchbox Hot Wheels past about 95, and that's really pushing it. It's mostly from the 80s that I collect. It used to be back in the day where if you wanted realism like you would want with your JDM stuff, you would pick up the Matchbox stuff. If you wanted more fantasy based hot rod dream type cars, you'd be more into Hot Wheels. I was more into the real stuff. So not that I didn't, love my Hot Wheels. Don't get me wrong. I
Speaking
can't
of
pick one
Hot
or the other,
Wheels,
but yeah, I did prefer Matchbox because they were more real. Nowadays, it's tough to tell, man. It's been a long time since I've even been down a Hot Wheels aisle.
Now, I did have a question for everybody except Toy Warp because he's not going to really care. But is the Robots in the Sky series worth watching at all? Because I found a DVD copy of an English dub of it.
You're talking about the 2001 2000 series, right?
Yes.
Because there's two shows named that.
The 2001
Yeah,
was on the box.
yeah. Well, it's I'd say so. It's not like if you like the G1 cartoon, you might like Robots in Disguise because it's very much sort of like that again. It's very low stakes, but that does mean that when they raise the stakes, it's really interesting. It doesn't take itself very seriously. They joke around a lot, but like it's not the kind of kiddie that a lot of the modern Transformers shows are now, which I appreciate.
So it's kind
Okay.
of like
Hold
G1
on,
with
Brad.
like Teen
Hold on,
Titans
Brad.
humor.
No,
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
that would be Transformers animated, the 2008 show.
Yeah. Hold
Uh,
on here.
it
How
was
much is it?
It
It's
was
very
only
simple. How much is it?
like $23.
Well, pick it up then. It's $23.
yeah.
Well, that's interesting that Fear of Courage would bring up that if you like G1, that's weird because I remember that being on TV. Brad, your mom come upstairs one morning and woke me up out of bed because she told me that G1 Transformers was on the TV, and I'm like, no, that's kind of impossible. I mean, back before they were showing old cartoons on TV, but yeah, she dragged me all the way downstairs thinking that was G1 Transformers. I think it's real interesting that Fear of Courage said that it reminded you a lot of G1.
So it's kind of like a G1 with like the Armada cartoon style because that's what it looked like.
I will say it's better than Armada because the dub is actually really competent, unlike the Armada one, and the animation is of higher quality. It was
and
dubbed
Unicron
by the
Trilogy, watch the subtitles.
yeah, it was Robots in Disguise was dubbed by the people that dubbed like Digimon. So if you ever watch that, that should give you an idea of like the tone.
I was big into like Digimon, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh type cartoons as well when I
Yeah,
was younger. So
same
Yep.
style of show basically.
I it was interesting because I was like scrolling through a Transformers group and I didn't know that in the original Five Faces of Darkness script that Shockwave was supposed to turn into an Autobot.
He was
Um,
Blitzwing actually.
so I read Shockwave. Someone was like talking about how it's supposed to be Shockwave.
Hmm.
Um,
Or wait,
and
no,
Oh my god.
and so I was wondering if like they kind of stole that plot point from and like put it into Armada because they had something similar in that cartoon.
Yeah, wait, I think you're right. Yeah, it was Blitzwing in the finished episode. I think it was supposed to be Shockwave.
Yes, it was originally Blitz Shockwave, but they switched it to Blitzwing.
And then they changed it again because Starscream's no Ghost in the Machine, the one with Sandstorm and Octane, with Starscream's ghost. That was supposed to be Sandstorm and Blitzwing, but Octane had a new toy, so they rewrote it to be about Octane instead, and said, "Oh, I'm on the run because I screwed up the events of A Thief in the Night with Triptychon and stuff."
Yeah,
instead of being on the run from Five Faces of Darkness.
So I asked a couple different people, and everyone told me the same thing. They said that the reason that Shockwave kind of disappears from the original series is because he was supposed to be the original Turn, and they didn't have anything for him, so they just kind of wrote him out after that since they rewrote the scripts.
Yeah. Well, also he was like scripted to die in the movie, but the final animation leaves it kind of ambiguous.
Yep.
He tells the Decepticons to scramble, and we see Unicron's hand smash the planet. On the page of like the final shooting script, it was like made clear in the text that he was supposed to be, in the command center, like crushed to death by Unicron's hand.
I kind of heard that too, and that they did eventually just do that in the comics to kind of clear things up.
Yeah, like whether that's canon or not depends, but like, because the finished film makes it pretty nebulous, but that was the like intention as written when it was scripted. And certainly he never appears again, not even in a crowd shot, except for like repainted versions that probably aren't him.
Yeah, I'm interested as to why they cut out so many deaths in the original movie when they did so many already. I wonder if it would have made it like too violent.
You would have seen a bunch of kids leaving there crying, man.
I mean, they already
saw enough kids leaving there crying. Yeah.
Return to 1986.
Well, no, that's a budget factor, is what that is. And the movie already cost them, what was it, like $5 or $5.5 million to make. And the more they add to it, you're just counting dollar signs. So
yeah, like I remember one of the older DVD versions that I had, the one that it came out alongside the new movie in 2007. One of the special features was all the unused animation, and it was basically nothing because there was very little that they didn't use. It was like the longest shot that they had that was unused is Astro Train flies away there, and then instead of it immediately fading out, they zoom in a bit to where everybody's gathered around Optimus and then fade out, and that's it.
I have the 30th anniversary copy of it, and I believe they have a little bit more than that because I kind of went through it. Should we, since we're talking about canceled stuff, should we kind of use that to kind of transition into the discussion? Yeah, I think that'd be kind of a good point to do that.
That's so
called a segue.
Yeah,
it's getting there. So Cody says, I'm actually watching Transformers Headmasters. It's really cool. RJ says RID is worth watching for sure. Animation is on point, and some G1 characters are re-imaged, such as Ruination and Brave Maximus. Definitely a watch. Now, just before we get into the cancellation, although it's a kind of a terrible word to run with, there is another passing of voice actors, as we were speaking of voice actors within the community. Dale Wilson, who was the voice of Smokescreen and Hoist in Transformers Armada and Mudflap in Transformers Cybertron. Also, he was a Canadian voice actor, and looking him up, he was also Edward Kelly in X-Men Evolution, Jackal and Mummies Alive, and he was also Wellman Matrix and Fake Megabyte in Reboot.
When was this? Because with all the fires being covered, I don't think they're really covering anything else, so I haven't seen that at all.
This was just like a couple days ago.
Is that the guy
January
who,
6th, sorry. So about a week ago.
Did the voice of Perfect Cell or someone different? From Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, he was also, mostly known for his work as on the Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z, but was also the voice
That's
of
what I knew him to recognize him for. I was like, no.
But what's interesting is he was also the voice of a second G.I. Joe series that I didn't know existed until I looked him up. So apparently the second G.I. Joe series ran from 89 till 92.
Yeah,
called G.I. Joe
6.
The Real American Hero, but it was a continuation of the cartoon that we knew of from 85 to 86.
Yeah.
And he was the voice of Gridiron Mutt, Overkill, Skydive, and the narrator of the opening of the series.
Yeah, I
I
know
have
about that.
seen that cartoon, and it's like, well, it's not. I don't think it's as interesting as the original. I think it's good enough to still give it a watch.
Yeah, it's by Deke instead of by Sunbow, because I believe they like there was some kind of chicanery there, like, um, which is why the old Sunbow one ended, because Deke was like, we'll do it for cheaper, and then they had to like wait for the license to go up again or something. So yeah, it
Okay.
is like the official continuation.
Cool. So yeah, so our condolences to his family and loved ones, which we will then segue over to the deactivate.
Deactivate.
I know.
It's so funny that we got a full episode out of this right before we broke for the new year.
Exactly. Um,
We
that
jinxed it.
and also the other part of the news is the Asia version of Hasbro Pulse shutting down,
Yeah.
which a lot of people have been confused about.
Yeah, I'm really confused because isn't it in Asia that they have the big Transformers restaurant slash store?
There's two things I've heard about this. One is that because the Transformers are like made in Asia, most people can get it from whatever local
86.
source before Hasbro Pulse can get it to them, so it was a bit redundant. Uh, the other thing I heard was that, well, it's a thing that happened. There was a big problem with HasLab Victory Saber, where they lost a bunch of them, like they were water damaged.
Yeah, the flood.
Yeah, well, no, I think it's unrelated to that flood, but like they
Oh, okay.
lost a lot of Victory Sabers, and a bunch of people's orders got canceled. And I gave everybody a refund and a free copy of the Orion Pax Alpha Trion Vector Sigma set there, um, along with all their money back. Yeah, but like that was a whole debacle that I think like sort of hobbled them in a way they didn't recover from. That's speculation, but that's a thing that happened. So
Well, the
So our
one
main
thing
segment is just full of bad news this week, huh?
mm,
apparently, well, not all bad news because we do have some good news that's working
Not
in the
all bad
background. Not
news.
all bad news. But with Hasbro Pulse, they do under Hasbro Pulse website they do list the questions and answers that people are somewhat want to answer, which include the HasLabs. So a lot of people are thinking that their HasLabs projects are going to be lost, and from what they've mentioned, anything that has been funded or agreed to be funded, they're still going through with that. Anything that hasn't been, then I guess that's somewhat lost in this shutdown.
yeah, because like Omega Prime still hasn't gone out yet to the people that backed it. It's on schedule. It's just like it hasn't reached that point yet.
Well,
Yes.
is that the is that the remodel of Omega Supreme combined with Optimus Prime?
No, that's the one from Robots in Disguise 2001, which you were talking about, that they did as a
Yeah.
HasLab.
Oh, that's gonna become a HasLab now.
No, it already was. It got
Oh,
funded and
already was.
everything. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
everybody thought it was like for the 40th anniversary, and it kind of took everybody by surprise because they were like, I thought this was going to be like a G1 thing, and then it turned out to be Omega Prime from the 2001 anime, and everybody was like, really, really?
Yeah, it was funny because I was actually looking up that toy not too long ago. It just came on my, you know, when you talk a lot and your phone listens to you, and then you start
Oh yeah.
seeing images popping up, right? So yeah, that's pretty cool that they're doing that.
Me and Jess get a lot of ads for baby stuff because we call our cats the babies very frequently.
Yeah.
Which if you look on someone's phone and they get a questionable ads, then you'd be like, what are you guys talking about around your phone?
Oh,
I'm
there's
here,
there's a
Mixmaster.
Mixmaster, yeah. Oh, he's got a uh little radar thing.
Is that
They're not
another
bad
Loki?
figures.
Yeah, it's a blokey.
Yeah, but they're not bad
Beastmaster was always
figures.
my favorite.
Yeah.
I will kind of zoom in.
I like that.
The
I like that he's got his backpack has his head unit and the barrel from the mixed truck.
do you
Yeah.
mind if I have the big
Nice.
screen after that? I kind of want to show Mr. Magnus the Prime Magnus version of it on the
That's good.
box. It's kind of hard to see, but it's there on the left.
Hmm.
I thought Magnus would enjoy that. It's
Your left, our right.
The
Our
Ultra
left.
Magnus one.
Hmm. Yeah, it's the White
Yep,
Optimus.
I see it.
It's not even Magnus. It's just Hate Plague Optimus.
Or anti-hate plague Optimus, because that was his armor.
Shiba Kobe says, back from Super Mega Ultra Costco run last week. GameStop, I ordered GameStop, pre-ordered Studio Series 86 Galvatron. He may be my toy Galvatron toy, and Kingdom Galvatron can be an Acon Galvatron.
I'm like, I guess, because that's the reason why people care, because the new one is like a little bit bluer like the movie, and the one that I and everybody else has a little bit more purple like the TV show. And that's entirely why they made it.
So RJ says, wait, how did Magnus get Studio Series Mixmaster already? He says, just kidding, because, those Unicrons.
Well, it's simple. Magnus is the dad of Children of Primus, so what Magnus wants, Magnus gets.
Well, then.
Hey, send us production samples. We'll make a whole episode about unboxing them.
There we go.
So in other words, Brad's going to be calling you Daddy. And that was awkward.
Well, someone has to be a father figure in my life.
I know, right?
Oh,
Wasn't gonna be me.
Damn.
I'm going to tell Jess that one later. She's going to lose her mind.
I will say I do have a cool 2-pack coming in that I had when I was a kid from the Armada cartoon, so that'll be fun to reveal.
Ooh.
It's got one of my favorite looking Optimuses in it, so
Yeah. Like I say, like the Armada show was like may not have been very good, but everybody's always loved the toy line. It just happened to be saddled with a show that wound up being not very well done. Yeah, that was Aaron Archer was like the architect of that whole line, and sometimes he gives a presentation at TFCons where he talks about developing it from start to finish.
Has there ever been a HasLab presented that didn't get the funding it needed to get made?
Yeah, not a Transformers one, but there have been a few that didn't get funded.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Okay, so one of the earliest ones was a life-sized Cookie Monster puppet that didn't get funded.
Cookie Monster puppet.
Yeah, most of the Star Wars ones get funded, but there was one that didn't. It was a big Rancor, like
Yep.
meant to be in scale with the 6-inch figures. That didn't get funded.
That's surprising.
There was another Star Wars one that also didn't get funded. It was a lightsaber, and everybody was like, "Why'd you make this a HasLab? It's kind of an obscure character." It's enough that I don't remember who it was. Not somebody from the movies.
speaking of Star Wars, I saw a Japanese version of an Anakin Skywalker that was made from in the Revenge of the Sith era, and it was going for like $300 at this store that I went to.
Jeez. Star
Well,
Wars.
if somebody is watching that we don't know and they're not commenting and they are the ones who sent me the mystery box, thank you.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I said they're not transforming Transformers, so they're not something that I would have bought.
Yeah.
But I'm going to enjoy putting them together. They are very well made. Joints are nice and tight. You can pose them any way that you want. So yeah, I am going to. Was it you?
No, but I'm just letting that person, if they're watching as well too. Can I be next?
Oh,
Yeah. I was gonna say I love it because like you saw my load of Christmas stuff last year. I love it when my friends that are not super into Transformers get me Transformers stuff because like it's always like the weird stuff that I wouldn't have gotten on my own, and I always appreciate a chance to like get a look at that.
It's a
Yeah,
mystery.
I've seen these a lot, and I wasn't gonna pick them up, but I've seen Anthony opening them a lot, and I was like, they could be fun. We'll buy a couple, and it turned out well. They're fun.
Yeah.
Like it takes a little time. Like, it takes your mind away from stuff. You get to build it, and then I guess they also look good in like backgrounds and stuff. They've got multiple hands and all that. So
Yeah.
Orlotti, did you get to watch TelaTraan 1?
No, like I said, I came home from work, right? I came straight here.
So my son got me this.
Blow that up. Oh, cool.
And my daughter got me this.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, see, you're known as the person that has multiples. So
Magnus, do you have the Ghostbusters Optimus Prime at all?
I have 2 of them.
Do you? Because I saw that in the store too, and I'd
I
never
have-
seen that in the store.
Actually,
I
I
have
was gonna
one that's sealed and one that's in my MP case.
I was about to say, did the wife get to the third one so you can open it up?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's a
the one that
lovely
I saw,
box.
and they were selling it
And
for like
it's
$50, and I was like,
it's
that.
a
50 bucks.
it's a proton
Bucks.
Yo,
it's a
get it.
proton pack.
Okay, like that's the second masterpiece Optimus Prime mold, so it is absolutely worth way more than $50. So that's a great deal.
Do you know how much that will cost in Canada?
Uh,
About
Arm and
$2,000.
a leg.
8 maple leaves.
$343.28.
3
Plus
packs of
tax.
pancakes, 4 bottles of maple syrup.
Four
Doesn't include
bottles of
shipping.
maple syrup.
Plus tax.
Plus tax.
Holy
I'm gonna
shit,
ask
man! For
Bill a
50 bucks,
question.
man, I'm gonna send you $50.
So I guess this store, it's weird,
Plus
right?
tax.
Because they have like an unopened Pikachu in 64 for like $4,000, but then they have something like that for $50. So I don't think they know everything that they have in the store, but it's a really cool store.
Okay, we don't care about Pikachu. Okay.
That's
Oh, I'm
Pikachu.
sure
And
the
the
Pokemon
and
fans.
the
some of
blogies
the
come with
comments.
these little pogs, and the pogs were a thing whenever I was younger. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's Transformer related. I'll let that slide.
I think the idea is that's how you
Mr.
ID what's in
Magnus.
them.
Man, what you got against Pikachu?
Hey, don't make the list, okay?
It's funny because I have one of those that someone got me for Christmas, and I went around putting people on it as a joke, and everyone just thought I was like mentally ill because nobody was a fan of wrestling but me. So they all just thought that I was having some weird like psychotic stroke.
So, what's your thoughts on WWE getting Raw getting moved over to Netflix?
Oh, it's gonna be great.
me,
No,
I don't watch sports, so
I can't remember the newer
That-
guy with the red cap.
Prime Killer.
Prime Killer. I couldn't remember his name. Only met him like 2 times on here.
Hey, the guy with the red cap.
That
People
guy.
don't get
Hey, there's the red cap goblins. Those things are badass. They like keep their head,
Don't
their hat
backtrack.
red by killing
Don't
people.
backtrack.
So I think that with all the bad publicity it's gotten over the last like 10 years, I think obviously whether it's wrestling or something else, something going on a huge platform like that, if you're a fan of it, is a big deal because it not only opens it up for you to meet more people, but also it opens it up for cooler experiences. Like their budget's going to be bigger. So I think anything like that is good if you can pull it off right.
Mhm.
And it
Yeah.
also, hold on, it also could open up back a little bit back to the Attitude Era when it comes to certain kind of contents as well too, because they don't have to worry about anybody censoring them or complaining because it's on Netflix.
It's funny because on the YouTube stuff,
Yeah,
they
had,
actually
what,
censored a
both The
lot of the
Rock and Hulk
cursing.
Hogan popped up on
That's
it.
weird because it still has to have a family appeal to it, though, right?
Yeah, but you can go out, right now
A
it's
little
PG-14. Yeah, so let's just say it's PG-14 right now, right? Apparently,
Okay.
right? So they could put it like PG-16.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
So
like it's hard because like the main fan base is like children and their parents and stuff, so you can't like, and that's where all the money's coming in. So obviously you don't want to put out a product that's going to take away the big ass funding that you're getting from all the toys for their kids and stuff.
The
But
children love
also,
John Cena.
who's retiring this year and it's on his farewell tour, so that's going to be interesting.
yeah,
no one
pretty
can
soon you
see
can't
'em.
see them.
What's the
Right.
what's the writing like?
at the same time.
What's the writing like? Because I mean, WWF was
Better.
enticing, but then
Better.
WCW, I would say the best way to describe their style of writing was like the Netflix version of Transformers. That's how when my friends are watching WCW, I'm like, I can't watch this. Like, this
Hold on.
is-
Yeah, but hold on. Pre-NWO or after NWO?
I fell out of it, so I think pre, during, and so far. So
No.
they were
So-
still watching it, but the writing and the delivery was really
Hold on.
terrible.
So I kind of watch like the older stuff, and like 96 to 98 is really, really good if you're going to watch any era from that.
No, you have to look at during the NWO era.
Yeah.
That's what
when
I'm
it was the
talking
best.
about.
Oh, okay. So that was like the 83 weeks. That was the best NW. Like that was the best when WCW had. done
Yeah,
their
so
stuff.
like late 96 is where you're going to want to
Yeah.
start, like early 99 is where you're going to want to stop.
Now, I think this is the case, but does the Netflix deal include like old stuff, like reruns of older things?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like other countries, everything goes onto Netflix, and even in America, they have some older stuff on Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
but they still have that big deal with Peacock where they show all of the live events and pay-per-views and stuff. So then like America keeps that, so you're kind of paying
Yeah.
Well,
for both.
that's kind of interesting too, isn't it? Netflix that's doing the life and times basically of Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
about that.
So
It
like
could be.
it's interesting because it started
Documentary.
out they had their own streaming service, and then they got a bigger deal from Peacock, and then the rest of the world kept the streaming service. It's like everything is different in America compared to everywhere else. I think it's because they're just getting more money, and they're on like three different streaming services at once.
I think it's the same in Canada because my brother-in-law has it. He's here, so
I know
As
I'm
well.
trying to get tickets to go see a Raw Netflix taping in March because they're going to be here in Albany. So I would like to go check that out. I think that'd be pretty fun.
What's
All right.
called Elimination Chamber is actually coming to Toronto in March.
yeah, I didn't realize that they would do shows in Toronto, but again, my
Oh
brother-in-law's been to
yeah,
quite a few of them.
Toronto is a huge hub when it comes to WWE.
Hmm.
Yeah, like
It's like New York is like their home base, and then we're like their cottage.
yeah, if you look, the biggest I think wrestling segment is a rock concert from Toronto in 2003. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
True. There's a number of like well-known Canadian wrestlers. What's his name? They Live. I know his name. It's escaping me. The They Live guy, Roddy Piper. Yeah, he's like famously Canadian.
the guy he
Robbie
keeps
Love.
quoting Chris
How
Jericho is from Winnipeg.
Mm.
how'd he get famous by wrestling moose?
Well, hey, look, if you can wrestle a moose, you're ready for pretty much anything.
If you can wrestle a moose.
Well, it's interesting because there's a company called TKO that bought it from Vince, and
Mhm.
Rock, the Dwayne Johnson, the Rock, is on the head of the board. So like he owns like part of the company.
Hold on, you got to tell the full story. So UFC and WWE merged,
Merged, yes,
and then they created TKO, which is
yes,
the father or the parent company of the two companies of UFC and WWE, right? And
yeah,
so Vince McMahon was on that board, and then obviously he got kicked off because of what happened to him. And then The Rock, part of the deal with The Rock for him to come on was for him to sit on the board. So he's on the board. So that's why they call him the final boss, right? Now, people that are watching, yes, we're still a Transformers site, but we just happen to talk about other things, okay?
Hey,
So don't get
well, this,
Freestyle.
discouraged if you're coming on right now and you're like, what's going on here? I thought they were talking about Transformers,
You're
as I've
reading my
said, Daniel
mind.
Warren
right?
Johnson is a humongous wrestling fan. He wrote a comic series called Dual Power Bomb that I highly recommend. It's very fun. And that's why in the Skybound Transformers stuff, he always has them do straight up WWE wrestling moves on each other.
Hmm.
I think the best way
Mm-hmm.
to kind of
Yep.
like describe Children of Primus is it's Transformers themed with little hints of retro here and there. So
Yeah.
that could clear things up a little bit.
That
That is
fully
true.
is what we
I
are.
mean, I've pretty well hijacked the stream before to talk about Bigfoot, so I don't think wrestling's too far out of the freaking realm.
Exactly.
I filter
Well,
everything through Transformers,
I
but other
call it
stuff is
pop.
interesting to me.
Hmm.
When I describe it to people, I call it a pop culture collector's stream.
Mhm.
I like that, and I will tell Mr. O. I went to an AEW show, and one of my favorite Canadian wrestlers is the wrestler Christian Cage, and I got an autograph from him and
Okay,
stuff,
buddy.
which is really cool.
And I mean,
so
if
when you hear something, a fun fact here before Spin goes.
mhm.
Yeah,
So Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, okay, they're buddies,
Mm.
and they used to train not too far from that what's called the theater that Anthony went to. It's called Scully's Gym, which is on just
Now,
Roncesvalles turns into Dundas, so it's
do you
by
know the
Dundas
history
and
behind
Bloor.
that? Do you know the history behind that, Jim?
to piggyback off of that, they I don't remember the guy's name, but the guy who ran the gym, they teamed up with him recently, uh, and they have I forgot. Plank. That's it. They released like this plank machine with him, and started their own business.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
that
Sven.
well, that gym that you mentioned down on Ronsonsvale is actually a very famous Toronto gym. And I mean, I don't recall the names, but
Yep.
there was a boxer from, I believe, either like the 60s, 70s, or 80s, like a world-known boxer from Toronto in that time who was a part of that gym.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He fought, I believe, Gardens.
I
George.
believe, if I'm correct, I heard that Sylvester
I
Stallone.
can't remember.
He trained
Sad,
at
I
that
should
gym
know
for
it.
one of the Rocky movies.
Rocky heads north. Maybe all the snowy
It's a
scenes in
really
Rocky
famous.
IV were
A
filmed
lot
in
of
Canada. I don't know.
boxers came there.
I like that Rocky 7, the Maple Leaf Adventures.
Gosh, it's Rocky 38. As Cody says, have any of y'all have Dreamstar toys skydive? One of the things hook tabs that a panel goes and broke. Luckily, there are other things to lock in it.
That
Lock
was
it
that
in.
was a mouthful.
Yes.
I don't have a lot of third party stuff. I'm mostly a mainline guy. Oh yeah, RJ Eagle's right. The Marvel Legends Ghost Rider with his flaming car didn't get funded either. That was another HasLab that didn't happen.
That's upsetting there because I feel like that would have been pretty cool. Anything Ghost Rider is cool.
Yeah,
Wasn't
and
there a
then-
Goblin
It is
Queen
cool,
that
but
was
it doesn't
based
have
on
a
the 80s
it doesn't have a
design they
strong
ended
enough
up
of
not
a
doing?
following.
Mhm.
Like even in my area, Ghost Rider cartoon or comic books were they couldn't hardly keep them, or they stopped putting them on the shelf because nobody ever bought them.
Well, also, like, I think the thing that people concluded was that the people that are collecting the 6-inch Marvel and Star Wars things don't actually want like vehicles and creatures because they're like way too big. Like the Star Wars HasLabs did get funded were like Jabba's sail barge and the Mandalorian ship, and those were scaled to go with the 3 3/4 inch guys instead, because those were a good scale to have vehicles for. That was just Monday night quarterbacking after the fact, though.
Yeah. RJ Eagle says, nice to Magnus. Target Prime. That Ghostbuster Prime is at least $200 to $300.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece mold, so
Yeah, it sounds like you better go back and get that.
yeah.
It's cool. It's called like J Street Gaming, and they've got a bunch of different stuff like X-Men, and they've got like horror stuff from the 90s and 80s. So it's really cool. I go in there quite often to see all the new stuff that they have. Like they even had like the rare PlayStation 1 that came with the little screen when you opened it up. So it's a really cool place to find some really obscure stuff.
J Street Gaming.
Cool. Cody says, I never got into Legends, but it
That
also
could mean a lot of
says,
things.
I went to Toronto for TF Con last year, and if you're going to TF Con this year, Cody, come by our booth because we are going to be having a streaming setup again, and it'll be slightly different, so stuff that we're still working on in the background, and a slightly time with wrestling and Marvel and everything. The original Transformers run, when the Micromasters were introduced, it was all a wrestling episode.
Yeah.
Which was cool at the time.
You know,
When
that
is
was
TFCon again? Sorry.
like July.
Because
Yeah,
I was telling Toy Warp that I wanted to go this year. So
Well, it's July 11th to 13th, I believe.
Yep.
Or 12 to 13, which is the Saturday and Sunday. So if
well
you're,
then I better get on that passport.
do it. Do it.
Yeah, you know
Um,
the
Speaking of which, talk to your boy and get my Orlando date back.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, because I think since they rotate with
Yeah,
the cities
Baltimore.
they're in, yeah,
Yeah.
like who knows what the schedule is going to be for this year in terms of the U.S. side.
they travel. It's like a road show.
Makes me
Exactly.
mad.
It's funny because I made a joke. I said, if after the new 4-year presidency start, if everything goes wrong, we will be more than neighbors.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, sure.
it's gonna be the other way around. We're moving down there.
Jeez.
Hey, we still got all
Yeah,
the
well,
snow,
hey,
so it'll be just like
Don't
gonna-
come to
we're
Florida.
gonna-
We full.
We're buying Canada. You know, that's
Well, you can buy our snow.
I'm gonna
Exactly.
I'm gonna bid $10 for Canada, and
Hey,
that's
remember,
how I'm
things
going.
cost more in
Yeah,
Canadian
how much
dollars.
does a bottle of maple syrup go for?
Why do you keep on knocking our maple syrup?
Because he's jealous that we have better maple syrup.
Exactly.
Yeah,
A
who
You're
doesn't
product
like
jealous
review.
maple
because you don't
syrup?
get an alligator companion.
Emotional
No.
support alligator.
We got Wolverines.
We got raccoons, we got
Go
beavers,
blue.
we got Mises,
Sas-
apparently.
Listen, you
Sasquatch.
guys should feel lucky because you don't have a toy warp up there.
Oh, but speaking of which, we do have a toy warp who with our joint venture between Children of Primus and Fear of Courage and Toy Warp vintage reviews on YouTube, we are going to have the blogbots as a video version, which will be coming out on Wednesdays.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yes,
So-
blog. Bots.
Are we? Are you gonna tease them with any kind of visual for that, or?
Nope. Just
No? Okay.
No, we're not teasing any visuals just yet. We're just
They're adults.
unfortunately, my beautiful face won't be on it, so there's no reason to watch.
Okay, so I don't know if Target had a thing about, we're not going to put any guns in an Optimus Prime that has Target written on him. So his gun is the repair drone from the trailer.
That makes sense. Like, companies tend to have like restrictions like that.
Wait, which prime?
And-
Which prime is that?
Target
The
off.
This
Target
is the
Prime.
Target Prime.
So they're not going to put a gun in the Optimus.
Yeah, he has no
Prime.
gun.
So
He has no gun. No
you're
axe.
talking about it.
No,
hold
nothing.
on, you're
These are
talking-
the two accessories he gets. He gets the white Ravage, which is Spot,
right.
the Target Spot, and then this,
Okay.
which
Trailer
is
crown.
that's the repair drone.
So a company that's doing, I guess, DEI, they don't want to put a gun, and yet their logo and their name is related to, I don't
Yeah.
know.
A bullseye.
I will say this:
Yeah.
how funny would it be if they released the new Pepsi Prime and they replaced his guns with Pepsi bottles?
Hold,
That
see,
should
that
be a
would make
thing
sense.
anyway.
No, but that would make sense because he's
Yeah.
delivering Pepsi, right? So here you go. Here's your Pepsi, a new
Well,
generation.
yeah, there was I know Anthony has it. The that Tanuki figure from Hinrad, and he has like the sake bottle as a gun.
That's
Suck it
true.
to him.
Where is he? Where is he?
I believe
so
I
it's
saw
not-
a Pepsi Prime.
It's not
that
too
came-
awful small. It's not too awful small. But if you take, because this guy, the man Anthony we're talking about, Transformer of the Year, he comes with two guns. He comes with the narrow barrel
Yeah.
and the fat barrel. So you take the fat barrel one and put it in his hand.
Yeah, I can just loan one
That's
out.
I do like the black and red.
Yeah, it's a good color.
The color scheme of him looks good
Mm.
because he's like a cross between Prime and Nemesis Prime.
I will say that Prime really reminds me of the Armada version of Megatron.
It's a strange pull. There was a red and black repaint of Optimus at the end of Transformers Cybertron that everybody says this reminds them of. Same sort of color layout, like red body, black head, white accents.
Oh yeah, it did look pretty cool. The body itself I thought was horrendous, but I thought that the paint scheme was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as the head too, Anthony, you probably know this better than me. There is another Optimus Prime that has that multi-point crown.
Huh. So this is a repaint of Laser Optimus Prime. So that's literally just his head. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
The crown. That's another reason why people think it reminds him of the Transformers Cybertron version of Optimus, because he did sort of have a head like that. I'm gonna see if I can find a photo and then.
When I
post it.
see the head, all that I could think of is Optimus like punching Starscream and taking his crown.
Oh, well, I guess you don't need a gun when you got shoulder cannons.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I've always thought that Prime was jealous
12
of
of 'em.
Ultra Magnus with his shoulder cannon. So he's like, "You got shoulder cannon? Here, I'll show you mines."
I will say
Afraid.
black and red Prime is pretty sick.
Now, RJ Eagle says, do you guys prefer that Target Laser Optimus Prime mold or the Volvo VNR Optimus Prime mold?
I like the VNR Optimus
G1.
better.
You need to do that VNR mold in the Hero Prime colors already.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that.
I needs it. It's my precious.
But the other set of box arts has a question for Mr. Magnus. It says,
Yeah,
Mr.
I was getting
Magnus
confused here.
likes
We have another
Warhammer.
set of box arts.
I mean, my
I was,
legal middle name is Thomas, which means twin. So
wow.
So to Magnus, you like
How about you?
Warhammer?
Wait. How about you let the live
Yes.
version one read this?
Yes, the live version read the other set of
Yeah.
box arts comment.
You mean neither one of them can read?
Number one, baby. Number one.
All right, the floor is yours, Mr. Sedum.
I was gonna ask. I'm trying to remember. Bill, are you into Warhammer? If I remember correctly.
You're not reading it correctly.
I'm paraphrasing my own words. Damn it. Had you messed with any of the Joy Toys Warhammer figures at all?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't
Okay,
think so.
I know. I mean, I've seen good reviews for their stuff, but they're going to be doing Slash and Toka from TMT coming out soon. And I mean, from what I saw from reviews on their stuff, whether it was Warhammer or TMT, I mean, people like the stuff. I mean, it's only like 1/18 scale, but like the detail and paintwork's like is insane. And a lot of
Pretty
accessories and
dynamite.
Nice.
articulation.
That does look
Well,
nice.
anything that has Games Workshop on it, you can guarantee that it is top quality
Mm-hmm.
because Games Workshop prints their own money.
So that's
Yeah.
what I was referencing. They did this guy in normal Optimus colors first at the start of of Cybertron, and then at the end they gave him this color scheme. And everybody says Target Prime is like a homage to this. He even has the same like painted crown on his head and stuff.
Yeah, with Warhammer, their prices isn't per piece. It's not per unit. It's not per design. It's the power level of the piece to the game. So, like, my gosh, what's his name? Ulatek, the Stormlord. He's one figure. He's this tall. He's $75 because he's a warlord. And it's just one little piece of plastic that weighs less than an ounce. Because you pay for the power level of what that character is bringing to your battlefield. And people buy this shit left and right. As I was like, Games Workshop prints their own money, so it's insane.
Do you think we should try to do something like that for Transformers?
I mean, they've tried
You
in
would
the
have
past.
to find a game around it, and you would have to get millions of people to play it.
Okay, we'll start tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a Saturday for you, right, Arnold?
Pretty much.
I always wondered if you could structure something around using the tech specs numbers. It seems like the obvious entry point.
Yeah.
But then also you have guys like Optimus, where it's like solid tens all across the board.
That's just crazy. A little tiny guy like this costs $75 because he has the power.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Amazing.
Well,
And
I would say before we round up, and I know.
Hang on, I'm getting you an example here.
Oh.
that's what I kind of figured. Before I thought, Unicron sucked them in somehow.
Are we gonna have time to talk about the main stuff?
Oh, the reactive got deactive. There you
Yeah.
go.
Which is a shame.
Not
and
surprised.
Also kind of interesting, amusing how we talked about it right before the break.
Well, that's how sad it. Look how sad it is. We're gonna talk about it, and we're not.
Because
It
I
just
will
shows how much. It just shows how pissed off we are, from Transformers again or Hasbro again, screwing up on something. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's trying to wait for this great game to come out. Finally get hyped up. we're ready to go. We got our credit cards or whatever case it is, or to buy this and have a good time. And it's like,
Never
gee,
mind.
thanks.
To be clear, though, developers have spoken and said
It's a
it
nice
had nothing to
close-up.
do with Hasbro. It was all on the game developer's side.
Well, that
Well, they just made
developer.
the list.
This
Yeah,
isn't
is
the
that
first
studio
time.
even around now?
So
So
Warhammer.
what's going on is they're doing
Hold on, Brad.
layoffs.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on to the gentleman with the red cap on. Hold on.
Mm.
So this is Umatif,
And that's $75.
and so this is also $75.
Okay, I can understand the bigger one being $75, but you're telling me the smaller one $75 too?
Yep.
Wow.
Because they have similar power levels. These are both warlords,
wow.
You're paying for the mechanic.
and they don't even come painted. I painted these.
And on top of it, they make you put it together and paint it on top of it.
Yes.
Your parents
Yes,
put
it,
it together.
it comes like a blokey. It comes in multiple pieces.
They should
Yeah,
at
this
least,
one was an absolute nightmare to put together.
Some assembly required.
They should at least include
that's like
paint
a-
and make it a paint set.
Oh my goodness, man! No, they're gonna
Parents
charge you
put it
more.
together.
It's like a Starbucks. What's it called? Bagel with cream cheese.
What?
You never
Oh.
been to Starbucks to buy a bagel with cream cheese?
Oh no, I have. It's disappointing.
Why? Why would you go to Starbucks to buy a
They
bagel
give
with
you a bagel. Hold on, they give you a bagel. First, they ask you if you want to toast it or not. Then they give you a bagel in a bag. Then they give this little package of cream cheese from Kraft, and then they give you a little plastic knife, and then you have to put the cream cheese on the bagel.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
like
they charge you $200.
yeah, it's
Not
like you
bad,
just
eh?
went to a gas station and like bought something from their little cooler.
Yeah.
Well, now we're never getting a sponsorship.
This segment has been brought to you by Starbucks and Kraft.
Oh shit!
Starbucks and Kraft, they don't cost $200 generally,
It just costs maple syrup.
unless you get like a lot of it.
Oh well.
We are
All right,
sponsored.
Spin. What were you gonna say?
Oh, well, as
Put you on the spot, didn't I?
put me on the spot. You know, as Torp was saying, the hint in terms of what we have coming for the Wednesdays. I think I will hint on it a little bit.
Don't be don't sound so excited about it. Keep your phone
If I have
down,
to
like
talk
this.
about it, I guess I will.
You know,
Watch it Wednesday if you want to. You don't have to. There's better things.
Brad
to
is
do with
definitely
your
not
time,
going to
but
be
it's
our
there.
salesman, is he?
It's the perfect thing to get you
Well-
through the middle of a difficult week.
Well, no, I'm just playing the part of Spin. He's just like, oh well, there's more things to watch, but like I guess I could hint at it.
but you know, it's funny. It's funny that you guys call it out because years ago, like I opened up, or the group I was in, we opened up for Public Enemy, and I said it to an old friend of mine, and he's like, "How do you say that? Like just so calmly? Like I would have been like hanging off the ceilings." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, open for Public Enemy." I'm like, "Yeah, well, okay,
He's just a chill guy.
that's just who I am."
Take it all in stride.
There you go. So here is just a preview of what's coming Wednesdays live on Children of Primus.
This week, we're going to talk about probably the most well-known
Ah,
Oh, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Pause.
Marvel U.S. original character, Straxus,
Yay! I got credited.
Oh.
the Decepticon Lord of Darkmount. Straxus was created by Bob Budiansky and drawn by Don Perlin to serve as the main bad guy in issues 17 and 18 of the original Marvel Transformers comic. The story saw a shift.
Okay, so it's
That's enough for now.
that's enough for now. So tune into two.
Aw, you couldn't show more?
Well,
That's enough for now.
Okay.
You guys have no idea. Yeah, he's a chill guy, but he's being very guarded about this. Don't let him fool you. He's pumped for it.
You know,
Otherwise,
there's a
he will
lot
kill
of
you.
stuff. a lot of cool things that we have running in the background. So and that is one of them. So that is going to be coming out on Wednesdays.
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays live on Children of Primus YouTube channel.
There we go.
Be
We'll
there.
fill you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Well, we know that you guys love us, and we didn't want you guys to have to wait until the weekend to hear our beautiful voices. So we gave you something else for the middle of the week.
On Wednesdays.
On
What's this
Wednesdays.
Wii stuff? You got a mouse in your pocket?
Someone speaking French?
Oui.
Do you have the early 2000s Nintendo console?
Who, me?
I was just yes-anding.
Oh, okay. I do have Super Nintendo and the original Nintendo.
I will say
I
it's
have one
cool.
here somewhere, but I bought one of those blocks that plays Super Nintendo, and Sega.
I can't find my
It
games
plays
on
all-
those. I can never find my games on those.
No. I'm not talking about the thing that you just plug in and it's got them already programmed. This one actually takes the cartridges. You have to have the three cartridges, but it'll play any of those three.
It's
Sega, or it's
yeah,
Sega Genesis, Super NES, and NES.
It's a Japanese
Emulator.
yeah, thank you. That you plug in.
I'm not too sure on it, but they're releasing this like console that plays Nintendo 64 games in 4K, and it's like $250, and it's you can use the original.
Yeah, I've got one of those sitting around here somewhere.
Got it.
I feel like
But instead of having to have all the wiring and the connections to have all three of them,
got it.
Everything in the bar, I've got all of my old games in it.
Hold on, which game is that? Was that Double Dribble?
No, I play racing games.
It's NASCAR.
That was Bill Elliott's NASCAR challenge.
You didn't blow on it.
Didn't get on it.
Well, you didn't give me $20, so.
Listen, there's only three things that Toy Wolf knows in this world: G1, Transformers, racing, and women. Like, there's nothing else that comes in his head.
Hey, at least he said women.
It's the original Bigfoot game that is impossible to play.
Hold on.
Why is that?
Oh, the curse of licensed games.
Yeah, so to control a throttle for Bigfoot in the game, you actually have to rock back and forth the D-pad instead of just hitting the A button. And it's just impossible because you have to shift with the B and the A. Like the A is the clutch, and then you have to hit B to get the truck to shift. It is stupid hard. Like, this is back in the days when a difficult game meant it was a good game. Like, the harder the game it was meant that it was a good game. The gameplay is damn near impossible, but it looks amazing. You know, for being an 8-bit game, it looks amazing.
Yeah, that's unfortunately before the analog stick time. So,
RJ Eagle says we need more Straxus. He is vicious.
He has to be voiced by the most hammy British elder statesman of theater that they can find to voice him. That's
Brad, you're talking about that.
Spin has the voice Straxus. Come on.
I bought this just to play that goddamn game.
I will say, and I think that Toy Work will find this interesting, I did find, like, the game, I don't think it's the best, but I saw an unopened version of RoboCop, which is interesting.
Ooh.
What shit is this?
Since I played RoboCop.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, it's the second one.
Hey, it's gold. Doesn't matter.
I saw a copy.
I'm gonna put a gold chain around this, man.
I saw a copy of The Legend of Zelda Link of the Past, which I think is one of the N64 ones. And it was a gray resale version that was going for over $1,000. And I was like, why? Just like,
Link
why?
to the Past is a Super Nintendo. Ocarina's N64.
It's Ocarina, and there's a second one. I can't remember what the second one is, but it's not
Majora's
Ocarina.
Majora's Mask.
Yes, thank you. It's been a long night. But yeah, it's Majora's Mask.
Best game that was on Family Guy. Double Dribble.
There you go.
Stand on that corner of the Streetport line. Bombs all day. Now, we're going to go to Super Nintendo. Here we go. Blow me up.
Killer Instinct. Ultra Combo.
Got that one?
You
This
can
is,
never
like,
go wrong with
the
Killer
game.
Instinct.
And then the number one game of all time, which I used to be one of the how do I say non-Asian person that was able to take on Asian guys. Street Fighter, baby. Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, that doesn't look like Super Mario World.
Yeah, I actually have that. So
That doesn't look like Super Metroid.
I was
Right.
so mad because I was playing Street Fighter with a girlfriend, Champions Edition, and she kept using Chung Li and spamming those kicks, and I was getting so mad to the point that I didn't want to play anymore because I
I'll,
couldn't
I'll,
win.
I'll
She,
My
she
teach
would
you.
like
favorite
I'll
back
character
teach you how to
was
combat.
Chung Li.
she would like back me up into a corner and spam the multiple kicks, and I don't think I've ever raged so hard in my life without saying anything. You could just see it on my face that I was about to explode.
I sent you a link, Spin.
You gotta
And-
get good.
And then she talks shit afterwards, and I was like, because I'm really good at Street Fighter. At least I thought.
Right here, baby.
Oh my gosh. There we go.
You come to Canada, you train in like the mountains or something with him.
I need to have like a Rocky 3 scene with.
I was
like,
about to say you
cool,
have
like,
your own
Katie's
music
in the
montage when you go to
background.
Canada to train.
Yep.
It's just me climbing up a mountain, just like using an unplugged in controller.
Oh, $199. Not bad.
Graded, 7.5 graded.
That's the first game, though.
How do you know mine was the second one?
I saw that it's. I could read the title. I saw that it said "The Adventure of Link."
Ah,
Thanks for spoiling it, Anthony. And now it's also recorded and it's going to be on the internet, forever.
Well, I call it like I see it.
You know,
Fuck, I
unless you were
forgot to
trying
get
to
my.
sell it on the internet and for what it actually isn't.
God, the Tundra Wookiees are fighting.
Oh, here you go. Here you go. Here's the one for you.
Oh,
Ready?
ready?
It's Mario. Number
Oh wait,
three.
no, that's Mario 2. That was
No,
Mario
number
3's.
three, man. Come on, read.
Yeah, no, I was humming Mario 2. That's what I meant. Mario 3 is.
Hey, that's the one they based a whole entire movie off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wizard was basically to sell nothing but consoles in that game.
Look at what RJ's saying right here. Street Fighter is by far the best game. Spent many hours at the arcade playing, and I don't like the new ones. Only OG Street Fighter 2 challenge you or lie. RJ, you did and you lost. Remember? Oh, that's right.
I smell a
Spin,
rematch.
hold
coming.
on. Spin knows there's an arcade by Jeffries and Alaya.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not an arcade, with a pool hall. And
no longer exists.
exactly, there was only a couple of arcade games, but the one that was always played the most was Street Fighter 2. And,
what's the card game? Something Hunter.
Spy Hunter.
That's it.
Yeah.
I was more on Spy Hunter, but I did like Street Fighter 2.
And then what do? Everybody put their quarter down. Think that's gonna be the next player, right? And then whoever wins keeps on going, right? And so RJ forgot that him and we went at it.
But do you remember what else they had at that arcade before the Street Fighter came in?
Mortal Kombat?
No. Well, did they? I don't know. I was never into Mortal Kombat.
Came
I know
after
they had the
Street Fighter
pool.
2
We played a lot of pool during the time we skipped off, but sorry, I didn't. I mean, after school program. After school program. Sorry.
4-player Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Oh, that's right.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That's still the one arcade 1-up machine that I want to grab. That one and the Terminator 2
Genesis.
Judgment Day.
I want that one so bad, yeah.
Sega Genesis. Give me a pure.
Hell yeah.
Hey, that does what Nintendo don't.
I don't want to go. I don't want to say Hawk 2 in case we get copyrighted. So.
Oh gosh.
Oh god, Michael's letting out his freaky side.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want to put down any of your games, but
Uh-oh. Which one's that?
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, Tetris.
Yes,
Ooh, that's
that
a
was actually a
classic.
good game. That is a good
That-
game.
You know,
Plug that in, you
Tetris
won't
is
see
a
me for a
life.
few hours.
Hang on,
That
hang on. Leave it
game-
there, spin. Leave it there, spin.
Hold
on
on.
Game Boy.
I have an original Conker's
you
Bad
go.
Me go
Fur
get my
Day.
Nintendo box.
Nice.
I have
I
an
guess,
original Conker's Bad Fur Day, which like is super expensive online, and it's like probably my favorite piece of my
Ooh,
collection,
nice.
just because it's so hard to get your hands on under $200.
But now, this is why me and Toy Warp get along.
Not-
I'm behind, so it's gonna take a minute for me to see.
I have that game too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, California Cruiser. I used to play that game all the time.
Cruising
Yep.
USA.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you something. Brad has gotten himself pretty good at the arcade version of that. I was so good back in the day. I beat one of the programmers.
Nice.
Like you could put it cost $1 to play that game at Park Lanes where I was playing it, and I could ride that thing all night. No one coming along could. Oh God damn it! Me and my big words.
Gay.
You stop
Sorry,
it!
it
You
was
stop
too
it right
easy.
now!
It was too easy. It's too easy.
Yeah, it's interesting because like there's a mall across the street with the Dave and Buster's in it, so I like started off playing Cruise and Blast, a new one, because like there's really none other around, and then I found one an older arcade, like an original cruising machine, and I started playing that, and it's my go-to every single time. Honestly, I think I could kick Toy Warp's ass now.
You could now because I ain't played it in probably 10, 15 years. But once I got back in the groove, no, you wouldn't stand a chance.
I don't think the original ones did it, but the newer games, like you can put in like a 4-digit code and you can save your garage with all of like the upgrades to the cars and stuff.
Yeah,
so
the
you
old
can
ones
back
didn't do
to it.
that, but you could connect the old ones via online because it had a dial pad on a phone dial pad on it, and if you knew like the number of the next arcade down the street, you could race somebody down the street with those,
That's
or
really
across
cool.
the country.
Okay. Are you done
Gentlemen,
talking
we are
about your-
past 9:30 here, so I'm going to turn in.
Wait, Bill. Hold on, Bill. Hold on.
Oh.
I'll show you two things. First of all, us Canadians, we got a game too. Okay. And that's this right here.
Maple
Shot
syrup
95.
skeet shoot.
Okay. NHL
What does
94,
NHL stand
95,
for?
baby. Okay.
What does
Just remember
NHL
that,
stand for?
Okay.
Hey, I have
What
a
does
game.
Because-
NHL stand for?
Hey, I have a
because
game
we
too.
kick
It's called
ass.
Nobody Gives a Shit about hockey.
Hey, that's all I gotta say. Because we kick ass.
All right, Mr. Magnus.
Well, peace out, gentlemen.
Peace
out,
out.
Bill.
I will say, I'm waiting for Arcade One Up to release a cruising cabinet. I'm surprised they haven't. They've gone for things like Fast and Furious, but not cruising.
Well, like, what do those one-up cabinets go for? Because I have seen Cruising USA cabinets down here working for like $1,000.
Like Arcade One Up cabinets, like the bigger ones, like Turtles in Time 2 and stuff, they usually go for about $600-700 brand new.
Oh, I just soon buy an original, put a LED screen in it, and call it a day.
My rarest thing is not old, so it maybe doesn't hit the same. This is a Wii game. It's called Metroid Prime Trilogy. It's a
Oh, Metroid's
compilation.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's a compilation re-release of the 2 GameCube games and the 1 Wii game they did. It's got a fancy steel case and everything. And it's valuable because it was a limited release, but they didn't announce it was going to be a limited release, so they just kind of pulled it from market after like 6 months.
Nice.
It cost me like $60 to get. I see that it goes for like a few hundred nowadays, a couple hundred
my.
maybe. Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, it's not old, but like this is probably my most cherished rare game that I have.
Well, also,
also-
Metroid is a really good game series.
It is.
Yeah.
In general.
I think this, considering it has all 3 Prime titles on it, if people ask me what the best game is, I kind of default to this one.
I remember the first time I cleared Metroid on NES.
I'm almost to the point where I can do that without consulting a map. Almost. I can't quite get through Norfair, the Fire Zone, without checking exactly where to go, but I can almost do it from memory. Almost.
No,
and
I
it took me
wonder
a
if
long time without turning off my the only thing that I turned off was just my TV, but not the the NES because there was no like save points, right? So it took me about a week to clear that game.
No, as we slowly round up for the evening, um, RJ Eagle is saying, absolutely not. He's laughing, saying, absolutely not. I was definitely the champ in Street Fighter. My Ryu and Guile are unstoppable.
Gotta film a WWE promo to tie everything together, just calling him out.
Actually,
Just set up a nice little Street Fighter booth at TFCon and put the two of you on a challenge.
I think we should.
That would be a whole video in itself.
That would be a video in itself. And he says that, wow, original Tetris, I still have the original Game Boy. And oh man, Cruising USA, that game was dope. And also says NHL 95, the original.
I know I'd love to play Michael in WrestleMania, the arcade game, because it's like a wrestling version of Street Fighter.
You know, true challenge, which only a few people held on to, was the cable that would link your Game Boy, like the original Game Boy, to someone else's Game Boy and have like a Tetris challenge.
I do have one of those. I know back in the day, it was really big with the Pokemon games, and that's how you kind of traded with other people.
Yes, I have
the-
something against Pokemon because you know how many boxes of Pokemon that I bought my son and then my daughter after.
Because
PTSDs, okay, exactly.
I bought
Well,
lots of stuff for
PTSD.
my kids. Does that mean I hate it?
Well, you can ask Toy. Back in the day, I had like all the original Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. If I still had my book of cards, I could probably sell it and buy every single one of you a house.
wow.
Like I saw a card at J Street that was going for 12 grand, and it was one of the ones that I had when I was a kid, and I'm so
You had
disappointed
those-
I don't have them.
You had those before I even come along. I remember you had them in a book at your grandma's.
Yeah, I was really big into. I was such
Yeah.
a fucking nerd, man. Like this is. But like back
Was?
then, like everybody would bring their cards to like school and would trade them. And so I remember, I don't know how to play Magic the Gathering, but I remember it was my buddy's birthday this past year, and we were at the club, and he rented out the VIP section, and he had a bunch of girls come over with me and the other guys, and we were all just like sitting there watching them play Magic the Gathering in the VIP section of a nightclub. And on probably one of the greatest nights of my life, just because I never thought I would be in a situation like that. I was like, this VIP club is like $400, and we're sitting here drinking champagne and
What
playing
the
Magic the
hell's wrong
Gathering.
with your
Magic the
generation, man? Jesus. I was chasing tail. What are you doing?
Oh no,
Oh,
trust. Oh no, trust me. Trust
Oh my
me.
god.
Trust me. Afterwards, it was even better. But like, it was funny. I never thought this. Like, I would be in a situation like that. It was.
That is pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
I mean, I don't play Magic, but it still sounds like a good night to me.
It sounds like a
It-
very good night.
Yeah.
It was because it was like they have like the red rope that they like clip on, and like everyone's like leaning over the rope, like watching the game, and like, and we're all like taking shots and drinking card games.
It sounds like Revenge of the Nerds Part 3.
But
Revenge.
How
We
different
won.
is that
Look
than
at
really
look at
than-
culture.
Listen,
than,
I
you know,
would
watching
rather-
WWF.
Listen, I would rather be a nerd than a Canadian, so shut the fuck up.
That's my boy.
Yeah, but what happens if you're a Canadian nerd?
I guess you're screwed on two fronts, then, ain't you?
You might as well go find a bridge at that point.
Jesus Christ.
Children of Primus does not endorse.
What are you talking about? I could afford a bridge.
I like going for walks across the bridge.
What about walks on, like, you know, a moonlit night on sandy beaches with alligators chasing you?
Just remember, your president wants to buy us for a reason.
It's because he's sick of you guys. He wants to erase you off the map for good.
No, he's sick of you guys.
What
He's
is
like, "Ah."
Greenland and the Gulf of Mexico?
We'll take
See,
the
he told me himself. He said I would watch Children of Primus more if these fucking Canadians weren't on there all the time. He said that to me.
No, you
Oh,
gotta
that-
say it. I would watch Children of Primus more. If these fucking Canadians. That's right, I said it. China.
As you can see, the Canadians are on the top of the stream currently right now. You know, as we
It's
are
like a map.
geographically, exactly.
3
It's
times more.
it's funny because we're saying all this, but in an instant they could kick us off of the channel with no problem.
Yeah, don't forget who the mastermind
Billions
is.
and billions of times we could do that.
Bro, I gotta get going soon, or else Jess is gonna moitorize me.
Yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
what
Yeah,
happened to
so,
that just
Anthony, what do you got coming up for this week?
yes.
I've taken the photos for my next review, and it is going to be of Studio Series Transformers 1 Optimus Prime, a very large, very interesting deluxe. Hopefully, I'm going to follow that up with Megatron, and just to cover both of the movie guys you can get right now. Look for that on childrenofprimus.com under blogbots. That's what I'm doing.
What is what you're doing?
Like everything that I held up here, I do hopefully intend to write up, because that's what I do. The only reason I wouldn't is if like a lot of other things came out and they got backburnered, which has happened before. But I'll probably talk about everything I showed off earlier.
Mr. O, what do you have coming up for the week?
Good news in a sense of I remember I was stating before we signed off that I was supposed to do that article by the end of the year, which I didn't end up doing because I got sick during my holidays, which is basically the months of December that I was off. I was actually in the hospital for about a total of 7 days.
Ooh,
Oh,
Yeah.
yikes.
Anyways, so but going back to the article, I actually finished it, and so now I just got to post it. So I should do that by the end of this week. And so it's about chirping on the bench and how to control it
Ooh.
and where can they find it?
at hockeynews.com under the plug. What's called all my articles are called the plug, right? So just look for the plug on the top navigation there, and you see articles, and you will find all my articles written there.
Mhm.
Very cool. Mr. Sedum, what do you have coming up for the week?
Well, tomorrow I got appointments come 12:30, so then Tuesday I got
Then I got my shopping list, and
then Tuesday
Yeah, I mean, I got work in the morning,
the
but you don't
usual
hear me
going into
complaining.
the art studio place. Trying to think. We're doing some group project where everybody's painting different animals, and then we're gonna collage them into the same landscape scene. Doing I'm painting a rhino. I already drew the rhino and started painting it. That's what I'm
You're not
doing. And every
painting on
time
the
I was working on them, I'm like, Rhinox
You're not painting on
Maximize.
actual animals, are you?
Oh, hell no. I'm not that
We
nuts yet.
just have to clarify that.
stay away from alligators too.
Yeah, yeah. This isn't some weird like polyamorous farm.
Then hopefully come Wednesday, I'll be able to, if I don't post any stuff tomorrow, like all the figures of custom builds with the Turtle Grayskull stuff. I got at least 100 pictures, and then I'll have more once the stuff I get Wednesday and Thursday comes.
Cool. Prime Killer.
Well, I actually have a YouTube channel starting up soon.
Oh,
It's going to be focused on myself being a little younger than everybody else, kind of comparing retro titles to titles in like 2007 that I grew up with, whether it's like toys, cartoons, video games. So I'm going to play some more retro stuff and then kind of compare that to the versions of the games that I grew up with in the early 2000s.
Interesting.
I mean, that early 2000 stuff is getting pretty warm right now. So getting in ground level on doing that would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, it's like I've like he sent me like the original Teen Titans series for Christmas, and like so I kind of figured maybe something I could do is like compare like the 80s comics to the cartoon, uh kind of give like a fresh take on the retro side of things, because I don't see a lot of people who really do that, who are like, this is what I grew up with versus what came before me, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, similarities, differences, which one is better.
Mhm.
So I think that that'll be pretty cool, and that's going to be a main focus for me.
I still can't get over the fact that you're calling stuff from the early 2000 retro.
Well, no, I was talking about like 80s, 90s
Oh,
stuff.
okay. Because we're
Yeah,
from the 1900s.
listen, give it about 10 more years, and stuff from the early 2000s probably will be considered retro.
Yeah, yeah.
We're coming up on 2030, so
Fuck.
if you think about that, the Robots in Disguise cartoon is coming up on its 30th anniversary in a couple years.
Oh,
I think it's
Yeah, way to make the rest of us feel old, asshole. Yeah, cool.
Well, hey, next year will be the 25th anniversary, so.
Well, look, he's on his rocking chair already.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
I
Well,
guess,
listen.
what,
When
20
you grow up with Toy Warp, you age pretty quickly.
So, segue over to Toy Warp. What do you have coming up that doesn't involve Richard Grieco?
Oh God.
That was such a weird reference when he said that in that video.
I like that one.
That was such a weird reference. Okay, Toy Warp is officially on the back burner for right now. So Children of Primus, tune in Wednesday for the videos that I'm creating off of these scripts. Basically, it's really kind of cool to do that because that's the hardest part of making a video for me is writing the script. I mean, I'll have 12 hours into making one of my regular videos and like 6 hours of it's just writing the script and trying to get everything out that I want to say in a coherent manner. So yes, thank you, Anthony, for that. Also over on Cruisers Motorsports, the latest video over there is the review on the 1994 Beauty and the Bandit movie. That is movie number 3 of 4. So go check that out as well.
It's interesting because like I came up through journalism in like a different life, and I did it multidisciplinary. So it's interesting seeing you interpret those because I did not write them for radio. Otherwise, I would have maybe done it a little bit differently. So I'm interested to see what you do with them.
I am too, because fun fact, I actually also did a lot of journalism writing. Actually wrote for radio for a little bit. So I had some of my scripts on the radio and stuff. So I'm interested to kind of hear his takes on those as well.
I say write them for radio. That gives you an idea of how much of a lifetime ago I was in journalism.
Radio's still a strong medium. I can't figure out why. I really can't. Like, have you ever like tried to take an ad out over the radio? I mean, it is literally tens of thousands of dollars. It's big money. Like, why? Who listens to the radio anymore?
Well, Sirius XM is still so big.
Indoor car.
Well, if I had to spitball, I'd say ease of access because, like, you need to go out of your way to set up an internet connection, and it costs money. But radio is just out there. All you need is a device that can hear it.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
I just got a Bluetooth. Tablet in my car, and I just turn it on every time I get in the car.
Well,
I haven't listened to radio in years.
But even construction sites, we just throw on the radio, put it on a station, and that's what we listen to for the day. So no Bluetooth, internet, MP3s or Wi-Fi, just free radio.
I think radio is definitely its own thing because you've got the host, so you've got that kind of personality that also keeps you engaged. You've got the different like theme nights of music, the different radio stations. I think it can still definitely be a big thing. It's just kind of on the back burner now that you have like millions of songs in your pockets all the time. There's almost not as much of a need for radio these days, but it still has its own like need. So,
or the multi-personalities that you find with the collectors in disguise from the Children of Primus on the internet and YouTube.
That's right. And while you're watching Children of Primus, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel.
And on that
note,
and on that note, we're going to
or else
and say thank you to all you guys and Happy New Year, and thank you for being in the comments. The comments are always wild. I love the comments. So,
yeah.
To all are one.
Yeah.